I'm nervous, alright? Because I have not listened to this. I think I might have given it one re-listen before, but I don't remember if I did. I'm very... You originally gave this album 4? I definitely did not give this no 4. I definitely did not give this no 4. One More Light is top 3 LP songs, but this album sucks. I guess it is time, ladies and gentlemen, for a re-reaction to Linkin Park, One More Light. I'm very nervous because I don't know if I'm so gonna hate this album or not, because I don't know if it was artist fatigue that really made me dislike this album. Are y'all ready for this? That and just music taste maturing a little more. Exactly. Like, my music taste back in 2022 was way different than what it is now. Like, my music taste, I feel like every year my music taste like fully changes. It is time to react to One More Light by Linkin Park. If they do not have the lyrics on here, I'm gonna be pissed. But the first track is track number 1, Nobody Can Save Me. Why is that so loud?
I'm dancing with my demons off the
Okay.
edge. Waves break above my head.
Damn, I was about to say the same thing. It's giving me like Imagine Dragons vibes. No, I'm not hating. I'm not hating.
Tell me it's alright. Tell me I'm forgiven. But nobody can save me now. Nobody can save me.
This isn't bad. Hold on. I'm trying to think of who this sounds like. There's an artist this sounds like. I forgot who. It's not John Billion. It's definitely not John Billion. Hold on. This is just the first track. Maybe we're hating on this track too much.
Head first hallucination. Watch the ground giving way now. Tell me I'm forgetting.
It's boring, but like it's not bad. A little bit Milo Lodo vibe. Maybe it's because it's such like a generic like instrumental and like such a generic melody that it's just turning, or not turning, it's just like hitting me with like a lot of like deja vu with it sounding like other songs, and I'm trying like so hard to think of what artist it sounds like, but it's not bad. Like I don't find this offensive. Like this part, God, I don't know, that's just like something about this that sounds so familiar, and I cannot pinpoint it. The chorus is nice. I like that. I'm not gonna lie. I think that was a not that bad of a song. I think I remember really hating that song. I'm not gonna look for it because I really do not want to ever rewatch that. Honestly, once this comes out, I might just delete that video because I never wanted to see the light of day again. Like, I genuinely think that might have been my worst video. No, that is my worst video I've ever released, and I don't know what the hell I was smoking when making it. Yeah, I didn't mind that. I thought lyrically was alright, but I think the instrumentals were very lackluster, and I think the vocalization was okay at times, but also kind of boring at times. And there's just nothing really here that really grasps my attention or really gets me to be like, oh yeah, I want to go out of my way to listen to that. So I'm gonna give it a high mid, but like there's definitely potential in that song, and I feel like if they just experimented it with that a little bit more, it could have been something great. I think you hated the song because of artist fatigue. You had to go through half the album twice, maybe. No, I think it was like, if I remember correctly, I remember not liking it and then pretty much crashing out because I realized halfway that my recording stopped working, and I remember vividly slamming my hands. I think I was like so tired of it I think I made that like character up or whatever I used to just make it more entertaining for myself. But in doing so, I not only created probably one of the worst reaction videos of all time, but any credibility I had in like the music reviewing area of YouTube and the music reaction area, gone like a snap. But yeah, so far I didn't mind that at all. I thought that was a pretty okay song. That's the next one, which is Good Goodbye, featuring Pusha T and Stormzy. I completely forgot they featured rappers on this album.
You better have some place to go, 'cause you can't come back around here.
I'm them wild, venomous enemies trying to read me. You're all looking highly illiterate, and it makes you so mad somebody else could be stepping in front of you. And it makes you so mad that you're not the only one, there's more than one of you.
Say goodbye and hit the road, back on here. Good goodbye, good goodbye.
Alright.
A period is after every sentence. Did my time with myself, more now she informed. Make way for the new queen. But they
Yep, no, I still don't like this song. Hey, thank you somebody for subscribing. It's just really boring. Even, it's weird because even Stormzy, you know, he has pretty good flow and stuff, and like he makes some, like, both Pusha T and Stormzy really, like, they got some heat in their discography, but I don't know, there's something about this I just feel like boring, you know? It's such a boring and uninteresting track, and it sucks because I really want to like this, but I feel like there's just nothing here that really grasps my attention. I don't know. Like, I really want to like that. I really do, but I can't. It's just something about it. Something is missing in that. Just it's definitely worse than opener. It's definitely like way worse than the opener. I feel like the opener was pretty solid. Like the opener was boring, but it had like solid moments. This one was just like from start to finish just really boring and generic. It was, I don't know how to explain it anymore. Like, I feel like anything I say, especially when it comes to Linkin Park, I feel like anything I say, it's gonna like really piss off the fan base a lot, but it's just, it just sounds something you would hear in like a very generic action movie. Not like Transformers or anything. I mean like a generic action movie. It's like an action movie that would come out nowadays, like where they're trying so hard to be like a Fast and Furious movie. Actually, no, possibly, but Fast and Furious franchise had some pretty like banger tracks too. But this is like this would be like one of the more like forgettable ones on those track lists. On to the next one, which is Talking to Myself.
Getting through to you. Lights are on, but nobody's home. You say I give when you leave me. Where do you go?
It's the progression. It's just everything. It's like, it's so generic. Like, I'm trying so hard to figure out how to explain it, but I just can't, man. Like, this melody, man.
I can whisper, I can yell into myself.
Do you know what this is reminding me of? Oh God, I'm sorry. I don't want to sound like I'm just complaining just to complain. This is reminding me of Media by Fall Out Boys. That's what this has been reminding me of, is Fall Out Boys, like a newer Fall Out Boy song.
I admit I made mistakes, walls that you keep building.
I know. I'm not saying an album or a song has to be something unique or super different for it not to be a bop. I mean, hell, like there's definitely plenty of songs I've listened to where they were kind of generic, but I did enjoy them. But I just feel like this one, it's like just too generic, you know, especially like we're talking about Linkin Park here, you know. These guys are known to make like really cool cool songs. So hearing something like this, it just doesn't feel like Linkin Park. Alright, this part's very good. Alright, that was talking to myself. I'm gonna give that another mid. I'll give it like a higher mid. It's definitely better than the last track. I think the last track was just really boring. It was like a very forgettable track, but I feel like this one also had like a lot of forgettability too. Like while it wasn't as bad, I feel like just listening to a song, it feels like I'm listening to any other stereotypical generic rock song. Like it's not a song that's bad per se, but it's not a song that I would ever be like, oh yeah, this is fire. This is like this is up there with that and that. No, I never. It's an alright song. I don't know. There's just not much to talk about. That's the issue. But on to the next track, which is Battle Symphony. Sounds like an AJR song.
In a long memory, I've been searching. I hear my battle symphony, battle symphony in my eyes are wide awake.
Okay.
They say that I don't belong. Retreat, that I'm marching.
I don't like bringing up Jon Bellion a lot when I'm dogging on vocal chops, because I feel like Jon Bellion is kind of like one of the only like artists that are similar to AJR who could kind of get away with vocal chops, because he kind of uses it in a way where it works very well for his style, and it works very well for like the instrumentals that he has, because he also has things under the vocal chops when it comes to like the progression and everything, where it kind of doesn't sound corny. But the thing is, I feel like the vocal chops here just sound very generic, especially with that drum that was underneath, especially in the beginning. It just didn't really do it doesn't really hook you, you know. But I will say, yeah, the lyrics on the song are incredibly dark.
No illusion, and for better or worse, race together, battle, symphony, I fall, get knocked down, pick myself up off the ground, battle, symphony,
I think this is the best one so far.
eyes are wide awake for my battle, symphony.
I actually really like that track. I feel like with that track, the lyricism's amazing and I love the vocals on it, but I feel like the very poppy and the very EDM-esque, very like 2017 Chainsmoker core instrumentals kind of take away from the meaning, and kind of will definitely turn people away from actually like really going deep into this song. And it sucks, because there is something here. This is a gem, you know. There's something here that is really good. I know it came out in 2017, but the thing is that it reeks of 2017. Just kind of wish they would have went about it a little bit better, like instrumentally. But since I really do like the lyrics a lot and I do like the vocals a lot, I'm gonna give that a W. It's a good song, but I just kind of wish that the instrumentals were a little bit different. And also, for a song called Battle Symphony, I really was like, you would really expect a song called Battle Symphony to actually sound like a symphony and not like an EDM vocal chop-esque pop rock song. Yeah, on to the next track, which is track number 5, Invisible.
I've got an aching head, tear you down.
Okay,
Words that I could have used.
this ain't bad.
I'll pick you up right off the ground.
This is very 2017. So you know what? This song feels very like 2014-esque. Like, y'all know like that indie rock that was very popular in like 2014, 2015? That's what this reminds me of, like that kind of era.
And it's an empty feet.
Actually, do you know what? It's making me remember more things. Because this is what it reminds me of, this album so far. It reminds me of like something by like, what are they called? Like, what's that band called? The one who made Geronimo? Like, hey, Geronimo, hey, Geronimo. Reminds me of something that would be released by a band like this back in like 2014. Like this, the entire like album so far. By the way, I like Hey Geronimo. I think that's a very good song.
There are no clear solutions. I was not trying to tear you down. You're scared to say it out loud. If I cannot break your fall now.
Okay. Sounds like it would be a promise. Oh yeah, kind of. Exactly. There are some like very generic songs that like just work very good for no reason. I actually don't mind this though. I think this is a pretty okay song. I like the lyrics of this song. I feel like do you know why I think it also sounds generic? Is I feel like they're a lot more blunt in this album, I think, and that's why. Because there's not much to really where you have to really dissect in a sense, especially with songs like this. They're pretty like being pretty clear of what they want to say, and I think that's also why. But yeah, that was Invisible. I thought that was pretty okay, you know. I thought that was a pretty solid song. I'll give that like W. I didn't mind that. I genuinely do not know what I gave this last time, and I'm very scared to know what I gave it last time. But yeah, other than like again like the very generic aspect of the song, I think it's pretty solid, you know. Really not like a song that I would return to often, but like honestly, if this played, I probably wouldn't skip it, or like if it played in the background, it's definitely not a song that I would really go out of my way to skip, but it's also not a song that I really would go out of my way to actually find and add to a playlist. On to the next track, which is track number 6, Heavy.
And I drive myself crazy. Why is everything so heavy? More than I can carry.
I actually really like the song, I'm not gonna lie.
Might be set free. Holding on. But I'm pretty sure the water's out to get me. So let my mind stay so fucking messy. But you keep spinning around me just the same.
Oh yeah, I like this song. Alright. Actually, I really like the song. Yeah, again, yeah, exactly. Like, it's repetitive, but it kind of works in its favor. Honestly, I think my only issue with that song is I kind of wish Chester had a longer part. I wish he had like a bigger part in that song, because like I like Kiara. I think she did great in the track, but I feel like Chester just didn't really have too much of a solo part, you know? He had like the first verse, but then the rest of it was with Kiara. Really? I don't really see why a lot of people would hate the song, because it's not a bad song at all. I liked it. I thought it was a great track. I would 100% give that a high W. I think if Chester had a bigger part in it, I think I would 100% give that a diamond. I don't know, I just kind of wish that he had a bigger part. That's it. Sorry, not sorry.
Watching the raindrops blinking red and white. Only halfway apologize. Sometimes things refuse.
Why is this the lower rated song? Did Chainsmokers produce this?
You couldn't know this when I left. So I'll be sorry for now that I couldn't be around. Oh, I'll be sorry to be around. There will be a day that you will understand. Telling them to pump the bass up. Tried to call home, but nobody could wait up.
Okay.
Oh, I'll be sorry for now. Day that you will understand.
Yeah, I don't know. I why does it feel like Chester and Mike swapped like places? They completely swapped places. He did the singing, and then Chester did the rapping. Chester, not good rapper, I'm not gonna lie. I think that might be like my least favorite track on the album. I get it. I get why it's the most disliked song on the album now. It's not an OW. I think that's the first L we've had. It is definitely one of the songs on the album. It's definitely the song on the album. That was a very questionable track. I think the production was very bad on that. I actually didn't mind the verses. I think Mike Shinoda did pretty okay on that. And I don't mind the lyrics on it, but I just think the instrumentals really killed the vibe for me. Chester's rapping really also killed the vibe. Bro, what about the bridge? The bridge was horrible. I did not like the bridge with Chester Bennington. Next track, which is Halfway Right.
I don't lose, I don't win. If I'm wrong, then I'm half the dead end kids, abandoned house. I couldn't see then what I see right now. I knew I took it too far. When there's nobody else.
Alright. Yeah, his voice really works well here.
Told me, kid, you're going way too fast.
Alright.
Slow down. I remember.
I don't mind this. It's a little boring, but it's not bad. I have no clue what the hell he means by that.
I don't lose, I don't win. If I'm scream at myself and there's nobody else to fight. Lose, I don't win. If I'm wrong, then I'm halfway right.
I actually didn't mind that. I will say it's not the no. It's definitely not like really. It's not bad at all. Like it's definitely like I don't know because it's like it's not bad at all. It's like it's a good song, but I feel like it is a little bit of a repetitive song. Like it had like the lyricism on it. It's very repetitive, and I don't know what he means by I don't lose, I don't win, and if I'm wrong. Wait, I don't lose, I don't win. If I'm wrong, I'm halfway right. Don't understand what that means. But like sonically and stuff, it works. It actually works pretty well. And for that, I'm gonna give that a light W. You know? It's not that bad of a song at all. Is it a song that I would go out of my way to listen to? No. But is it a song that if it was playing, would I skip? Probably not. I'm really not looking forward. Not looking forward to the next song. So not looking forward to the next song. Because I know I'll cry. I broke down crying last time. Do I have to listen to it again? But I guess it's time to listen to. It's time to listen to it, guys. One More Light. AKA genuinely one of the greatest tracks ever created.
I ignore anymore. We saw there are things that we can have. Cares if one more light goes out in the sky. Million stars, it flickers. If a moment is all we are, quicker. Who cares if one more light goes out? I do.
Oh, this hurts.
In the kitchen, one
chair, then you need you're angry, and you should be. It's not fair, just cause you can't see. Who cares if one more light goes out in the sky? It flickers, flickers. If one
This is
more
hard.
light goes out,
This is really hard to listen to.
I do.
God, his vocals in the background.
In the sky of a million stars, if a moment is all, who cares if one more light goes out? I do.
It's just so hard to listen to that song, man. Dude, I don't know. There's something about that song that just like every time I listen to it, every time I hear it, it just hits that nerve, man. It pulls on the strings, man. It pulls on the heartstrings so badly. Oh my god. The vocals, the vocal performance, soundscape, the lyricism, the simplistic but also detailed instrumentals and production, the mixing. It's just magnificent, man. It's not generic at all, man. That is genuinely one of the greatest songs I think ever made. Like, and I'm not joking when I say that. And honestly, this is a well-deserved emerald. Oh my god, it's such a hard song to listen to, man. It's such a hard song to listen to without like genuinely feeling like you're about to bawl your eyes out. On to the next song, which is Sharp Edges, the final track.
Your arm scissors, son. Mama told me look
Whoa.
before you leave. Sharp edges have consequences. I find out for myself. Sharp
Alright.
edges have consequences. Should've played
Whoa.
safe from
It really should have been the final track.
years you never give.
But I really like this song. I remember I actually liked this when I made the video.
And consequences, I guess that I had to find out.
This also is a little generic, but like I think it works. Like the genericness of the song works a lot better.
Edges have consequences. We all fall down and somehow we learn what doesn't kill us makes us stronger.
But yeah, that was Sharp Edges, the final track on One More Light, our official re-listen to the album. But yeah, honestly, I really enjoyed that track. I remember I did like it too when I first reacted to the album, but I still enjoy it quite a bit. And yeah, I would definitely give that like a very high W. I think vocally it was great. I think instrumentally it was great. Lyrically it was great. Instrumentally it was a little bit generic, but I feel like that kind of works with the song for some reason. I don't know. Like I feel like the genericness actually works with the song, but I think to end off the album, it wasn't that bad of a way to end off the album. I do think that One More Light should have been the outro track to the album. I feel like that would have been a devastating way to end off an album. My god, ending it off with having everyone feel like genuine death. That would be kind of mean, but it would have worked perfectly for this album. But yeah, honestly, it wasn't bad. I didn't mind it. We did it. We reacted to, or did a re-reaction to One More Light by Linkin Park. And like y'all saw earlier, my original score for this album was a 10. Alright? I absolutely hated this album when I first reacted to it. It literally ruined my month when I reacted to this album because of how bad it was, or how bad I thought it was. But now that it's been 2 years, and I feel like I've not only matured as a person, but just kind of changed a lot music taste wise, I can honestly say that even though there are still a lot of negatives to this album, I feel like there's also a lot of positives that I 1,000,000% looked over and glazed over in my first reaction. And I think it's also something that a lot of people kind of looked over with this album, because I'm not saying it's the best album ever, because it's not. There's way too many tracks on here that are just very forgettable and very generic, but the good songs are good, the great songs are great, and the freaking legendary song is legendary. You know, there's still so much positive in this album, even though there is a lot of negative. And I'm gonna be for real with you, if it wasn't for One More Light, I think that the negatives would have probably outweighed the positives. But I think that vocally this album was great. I think that Mike Shinoda did great on the rapping and stuff like that. And I think outside of like one song, I think Chester Bennington also did amazing vocally. But to be honest, as Chester Bennington, I'm not expecting anything less vocally. I think that instrumentally it was very generic, most of the tracks. Even though some of the tracks being generic, it kind of worked. A lot of the tracks it still didn't work. I think lyricism on the track was pretty good. You know, it wasn't bad lyrically, but I think it's just the soundscape and the whole kind of like EDM and 20 like very outdated sound to it that just didn't really work very well. But honestly, yeah, instrumentally I feel like it's definitely their weakest album, and I think that's really the main thing that really hinders the album a lot. But altogether, excuse me, altogether, if I had to give it like a re-rating, I'm definitely gonna bump this up from a 10 to like a 6 point. I'll give it like a 6.4 out of 10, you know? And who knows? Maybe after a few re-listens, it'll keep going up. But, you know, for my second re-listen or maybe third re-listen, going from a 10 to a 6.4, that's a pretty big jump. You know, like it still has its flaws, but there is still a lot of charm in a lot of these songs that I really enjoy, that I really do regret looking over and really regret kind of like ignoring when I first reacted to it. But yeah, I really enjoyed that album. It's definitely like their worst album, still their worst album, but like it's not bad.